Hey, what's going on? It's your boy MLC, and I'm just out here sitting outside, chilling. People kind of partying across the street, out here hitting the bomb. You can't even see it, but still, just want to come out here to talk about a couple of the fights that happened yesterday. But first, leaving off, I know this wasn't even on the main event, but it was on the prelims. Frank Martin, man, he put that dude to bed. I mean, I thought something was wrong with him. I thought he wasn't gonna be able to get up, but he got up and walked up out of there quickly. But that was a great performance by great Frank Martin. In his first fight at 140 pounds, all props to him, and hopefully he can keep it going. And second, talk about O'Shaquie Foster versus Stephen Fulton. And man, Foster just, that was a domination. He just outboxed that man, kept him at distance at bay. And Fulton just couldn't do anything but rush in wildly and swing wildly and clinch and hold on and try to wrestle and stuff. And that was another thing. I just see this clip of Gilly talking to Foster before the fight. They was both on, I think, Cameron podcast. And Gilly gonna say, I just saw Fulton yesterday and he in shape. When was he in shape? When they was on your interview a month ago, he was looking bigger than Foster. And he the one moving up, and we all, see what happened with him missing weight. But I don't know what Gilly saw, but he wasn't looking shape a month ago. You know what I'm saying? Before the fight and in the fight. In the ring, he wasn't looking in shape. I don't know what Gilly was talking about, but that was a total domination by Foster. And now, they talking about him. He wanna, well, that fight put him in place to be the WBC interim now, so he could become Shakur Stevenson mandatory. So that'll be a good fight. He claimed, he whooped Shakur Stevenson in sparring. So I would like to see that. I would really like to see that. But the main thing I just feel about it, I kind of feel like it'll be a lose-lose situation for Shakur because he wins. They gonna say, okay, you just beat up a 130 pounder who haven't fought nobody and already lost 3 times. One being to Conceição, I think so. I think he actually won both of those fights with Conceição though, but yeah. And then, if he have a tough fight, lose, you just lost to a guy moving up who wasn't even a top dude in the weight class. So, but I'm not saying I'm totally against the fight and I don't want to see it. Damn, I just picked the wrong time to come out here, dude. But I don't want to say I want to totally just don't want to see the fight. I wouldn't have no problem if it happened. I just know what people gonna do. I just know what people gonna say. If he beat him, that was a nobody who already had 3 losses and was moving up. You know what I'm saying? So, but I mean, he gonna get all the props, if after this TL fight. So yeah, I wouldn't have no too much of a problem seeing it after the TL fight. So the TL fight already, in place. So. And then moving on though, I spent a lot of time on that. But moving on, talk about Erislandy Lara versus I don't even know the guy's name, but it was kind of the same thing, like with the Foster fight. He just pretty much outboxed him. He had times where he could have stopped him, but he just, as we all know, Lara's not really a power puncher. He's more of a boxer that moves around the ring. Damn, I picked the wrong time to come out here and try to do a video, but he's more of a boxer that try to move around the ring. So I wasn't too surprised that he couldn't get the stoppage. Oh, and another fight I want to talk about, the Shane Mosley versus Jose Ramos Jr. That was crazy. I thought, saying Ramos Jr., I thought he was 154. Well, I guess this was his first fight up at there. And he was catching Mosley with, like, crazy shots. Like, he was catching him the whole fight. Mosley just had a chin, bro. Like, Ramos was catching him the whole fight. Like I was watching with my cousin. They was getting mad. Like, hey, you need to stop him. I'm like, he just got a chin. Ramos is catching him, hitting him with everything he got. Shane Mosley Jr. just had a fucking chin. But that was a good fight for Ramos. I mean, every fighter. And then I didn't even know he was only 24. Damn. So he's still young. So yeah, he got time, to improve. And, fights like that, he'll get the stoppages next time, maybe. But yeah, I didn't even know he was that young. But that was a good performance to me. He was catching Mosley with great shots all night. So good performance, Hopefully he can go on to do, great things at 160. And then, lastly, we talk about Isaac Cruz versus Lamont Roach. That fight was close, tough. In the beginning rounds, I ain't gonna lie, it looked like Isaac Cruz was gonna pull away with the victory. It just looked like he was stronger, and every shot he was catching Roach with just hurt Roach really bad. Roach was landing shots, obviously, that's why it ended up a draw. Roach was outlanding him. He had like 30 more punches landed. And then, but it just didn't look as effective as Isaac Cruz punches until like the later rounds. We start to see Cruz kind of like move around the ring a little bit more and start to clinch a lot more. That's when it kind of looked like, okay, Roach is catching him now. Okay, that fight was close, and yeah, I'm not too mad that they had it as a draw though. But damn, I picked the wrong fucking time to come out here. But yeah, that fight, I can't wait to see the rematch. I don't know if they're gonna do it off the rip, but that's all I got to say, man. They want to start bumping music. Yeah, that's all. I'm done.